Alex Morgan, soccer.
Perfect. The World Cup really made you a household name. Is there any way the Olympics can top that?
Olympics and World Cup are just on complete opposite sides of the spectrum. This will be my first Olympics, so I'm really excited for it. But I definitely have a different role going into London than I had from the World Cup. So I'm looking forward to embracing that new role and hopefully getting some more playing time.
And what is that role?
That role is, since I've had a little bit more experience at the World Cup, instead of coming off the bench, Pia has been trying me, starting with Abby up top. So I'm hoping that, we'll continue to play well together and get those starting spots in the Olympics.
And the chemistry?
Team chemistry or chemistry? Okay. Team chemistry has been great. We've been lucky enough to start our preparation a couple of years ago, going into the cycle of the World Cup and Olympics. So we really have about everyone trying to make the roster for the Olympics as they were trying for the World Cup. So it's really just about the same team, plus or minus a few players. And we had great chemistry in the World Cup, and we're continuing that on and still growing as a team.
If you weren't an Olympic athlete, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't an Olympic athlete, I would probably still be doing something in sports, whether that's sports commentating or, really anything. Being a coach, whether if I wasn't an Olympic athlete because of injury, I definitely look towards coaching or something of that manner. But I just love sports and I like being surrounded by it, so something in that field.
And what do you do in your spare time or your free time?
In my free time, I like to be a girl and I like to shop, but I also love reading. We get a lot of time on the road, a lot of downtime, and you don't want to waste too much energy, so reading is a good thing to do. I also really enjoy being out in the sun and going to the beach and just hanging out with my friends. I have a lot of friends that I've grown up with since I was 5 years old that I played rec soccer with, that I still keep in touch with back home. So just trying to still keep in touch with them and hanging out when we're home.
You mentioned reading. What is the best book you've read, recently, and why?
I've read a lot of good books recently, but sort of a trilogy that I've read. I really like just book series because you could keep going for a while, and I read so fast that I'm done with the book in less than a week. I really liked The Giver. I never really got a chance to read that when I was younger. I think that it was assigned to a lot of schools, but not mine. So I got to read that, and then the other two books along with that series, and that was interesting, a different book to read.
I would imagine that you probably have a lot of guys that ask you to marry you or to marry them. What's the strangest thing that you've been asked, or what's the strangest thing they've tried to get you to do?
Yeah, I do get some marriage proposals on Twitter and Facebook, but I don't really know. I don't know any particularly weird ones. I think one that was funny, I kind of scared my teammates a little bit, was we were in London playing, this was a year and a half ago, and someone made a huge poster that said, "Will you marry me?" And there was an arrow pointing this person. And my teammates for a second actually thought that was my boyfriend proposing. And I was like, no, that's just some random person. They got scared that I was getting proposed to by my boyfriend, but it was just a random fan.
And you went to Cal. So talk about how your college career kind of helped you out and got you your success that you have now, if it did.
I did get a scholarship to Cal Berkeley, and I didn't know much about the college growing up because I was from Southern California and Cal is in Northern California, but I feel like I just fit in right away, so it worked out really well, and I'm really happy that I went there, and it really gave me a lot of knowledge and helped me grow as a person. And I met a lot of people who helped me along the way to get to where I am today. So I'm really glad about that experience.
The platform that you have, there's a lot of young girls that look up to you. What's your message to them?
I do take being a role model very seriously, and I take it with a large responsibility upon me and all my other teammates. But I think that it's just important for me to send the message out that you should feel comfortable in your own skin. There's so many skewed messages that media sends girls and teenagers and women about their bodies and how they should look. And I just think it's so important to feel comfortable in your own skin and whichever body type you have, just to embrace it.
Last question. What would you say is your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure would probably be dessert. I mean, I love dessert, and being an athlete and training as much as I do, I try and justify it and do have dessert quite often. But it's something I need to limit myself, and I don't have much self-control over. But yeah.
Do you have a favorite dessert and why?
I don't know if you've ever heard about a pizookie, but it's like, it looks like a pizza, but it's cookie, and then ice cream on top of it. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.